course, coming sooner and the conditions outside getting maybe a bit more dreary, not as colorful when those leaves come down. Your health may also change like the leaves on those trees, but there are some healthy ways to stay on the right side of the fall feels.
That's right. Well, Dr. Jean Beresin is the Executive Director of S.A.D for Young Healthy Minds at Massachusetts General Hospital, joining us now. Thanks so much for chatting with us. Now, this time of the year, the phrase SAD really gets brought back up as a way of explaining the changes in people's mood, but there is a bit more to it. Can you explain a bit more about what seasonal affective disorder really is and the role that sunlight plays?
Well, thanks for having me. So there are two different kinds of SAD. There's winter SAD and there's summer SAD. Now, in winter SAD, there's feelings of low mood, crying, helplessness, hopelessness, fatigue, unexplained fatigue, lack of energy, cloudy thinking. Oftentimes, it's kind of a period of hibernation where one sleeps more and, interestingly, craves carbohydrates, which is different from summer SAD, because the main difference is that in summer SAD, there's actually decreased sleep and increased and loss of appetite and lack of weight.
That makes sense. We all crave the comfort foods, right? Getting into this time of the year, and we tend to eat more carbohydrates, of course, too. But the signs, do they look different, in terms of your age, kids versus adults? What signs should we be looking for?
They're pretty much the same, although, teenagers, will react by either shutting down, withdrawing. They may be more irritable. Instead of being, sad and hopeless like adults, they may be more angry, irritable, oppositional. But I recommend that if any parent sees a change during the season, whether it's the winter or the summer, to ask them questions, how they're feeling, what's going on. And then ask them specific questions about mood, energy, appetite, sleep. Social isolation is another very common sign for both winter and summer SAD.
Now, is this sort of a length of time that we get into this? Is it sort of a short time? Because we all can get into a mood for a day or two, but is this something that would be more of a longer period situation?
Yes, and look, all of us, some of us, depending on personality, some people love the dreary weather. I love dark, rainy days. Okay, I'm a gardener, and some people love the heat. I don't like the heat. So there's a lot of personality. But if it goes on long, and if it goes on for a number of months consistently, that's the thing to worry about. So if you see a change that varies from day to day, there's not much to worry about. But if you see it continuing in your teenager or young adult for a number of months, that's the time that you've got to start asking questions and doing some kind of and getting an intervention involved.
Okay, Dr. Beresin, we want you to intervene right now. As a matter of fact, what can we do to fight this off and just improve our mental health, especially going into these darker days?
So the good news is that there's treatment for this. In the winter, the most valuable, and actually for the summer too, is phototherapy or light therapy, where there are these little boxes where you put for 20 or 30 minutes a day next to you, and you can actually give yourself more light. There's medications, because there's a lack of production of serotonin. So the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or those antidepressants, can be extremely useful. Psychotherapy, especially cognitive behavior therapy to change your negative thinking, whether it's about the winter or the summer, is super important. And then getting involved with other people, social connections. We humans are pack animals. We need each other. We learned this during COVID. So don't let your kids or adult friends, spouses, partners isolate themselves. Get involved, get outside, exercise, maintain self-care. And that means good nutrition, good sleep habits, diet, exercise are invaluable. And, if none of those things are working, get a professional evaluation by a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
Wow, I tell you, great advice, great talk, because a lot of people may not realize what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And this could be it. Thanks so much, Dr. Jean Beresin, the Executive Director of S.A.D for Young Healthy Minds there at Massachusetts General Hospital.